Alright, Real Talks channel, welcome. So this is the first episode of the Lyrical Breakdown, and we're going to start off today's show with changes. There's so much happening in the world right now, and then me and my brother Eche, we're going to break down some of the lyrics that Tupac wrote over 20 years ago. And yeah, let's just see how it goes.
Yes, this is episode 1 of the Lyrical Breakdown series. We're going to open up the conversation to the community. So we're going to ask some questions, and what we need, this isn't a one-sided conversation. So we need your participation in the comments. Get involved on Twitter. Get involved in the conversation. Let's make that change.
So yeah, you can start off.
Alright, so let's kick things off. I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Shall I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor, and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch. Now, I recall, was it yesterday was World Mental Health Day or something like that? And that's the first thing that springs to mind when I look at these opening 4 lines. The impact that one's societal status can have on their mental health. So he's talking about, is life worth living? Like, that's depression, that's suicidal thoughts. That's suicidal thoughts he's talking about, right? And so how has the situation changed 20 years on? Should I blast myself? We weren't made to be having these thoughts. And it doesn't help when the things that you're seeing in your community is full of hopelessness. And you're seeing no changes. No matter what politician comes in, you're seeing no changes. And even if there are changes, it's gentrification or regeneration changes. So that's what strikes immediately when I'm looking at that. And furthermore, he says, my stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch. When you're in trying times, you may do things that normally you wouldn't want to do, but because you need to survive, they forced your hand. And I was speaking to a homeless man in Dalston the other day, and I was with him, we were talking, I gave him some money, but that money wasn't enough. He needed £22 for his hostel. And he told me, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to have to do something to get this money. And you know what I'm talking about when he says that's something. It's something illegal just to make ends meet. So that's what strikes out to me in that first 4 lines.
So moving on, he says, cops give a damn about a Negro, pull a triller, kill a nigga, he's a hero. Give the crack to the kid, who the hell cares, one less hungry mouth from the welfare. So for me, we're talking about the same situation that's been happening for so many years. Young, innocent black men and women just being killed for no reason. We all know what's happening with Colin Kaepernick in America, refusing to stand for the anthem, and the backlash that's been happening over there. And it's happened over here in the form of, in the UK, deaths in custody. How many people have died in custody in the UK in the last 30 years? Do you know? So again, there's questionable things, especially with the police. So we just need to understand that, you know, things haven't changed, and it's like, how do we make those changes? And then it goes again. First ship them dope, let them deal to the brothers. Give them gum, step back, watch them kill each other. What can I say? What can we say about that?
Am I hearing Biggie, blood? What type of... That's outtakes, bro.
We're trying to do Tupac and
Biggie's coming through, bro. What do you mean, bro? Autoplay. Wait, can I turn the autoplay off, bro?
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, man. Wait, how do
At least let the thing stop.
Autoplay off, bro. Come on now, man. Nah, that's straight outtakes, bro. You're meant to see that, man. Production errors.
Well, yeah, people love that. It's all good, so good. But yeah, just going back. The next line, it says, first ship them dope, let them deal to each other. Give them gum, step back, watch them kill each other. You know, we talk about when people are constrained in the same hopelessness. Who are you going to turn to?
Yeah.
The people that live right next to you. That's where your frustrations are. You know, so when this idea of black on black, this, you know what I mean? The statistics is the same, and even more for other communities that are living amongst each other. Most crimes are committed against white on white.
You commit crimes against your race. That's just
against
the
it's just the
normal
norm.
thing. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, within our community, we need to not point the finger and have a blame game and start saying what actions are we going to take, because there's a lot of talk within our communities.
Yeah.
What actions are we going to take to make sure that we reduce the level of hopelessness and give people a purpose? Because once they have a purpose, then they're not turning on each other.
Yeah.
And that's just as simple as that.
Okay, now it's time to fight back. That's what Huey said. 2 shots in the dark, now Huey's dead.
Tell them who Huey is. I don't think not everybody knows. Let's not assume everybody knows who Huey Newton is.
Huey P. Newton of the Black Panthers. And what strikes me about this is when we're talking about leadership and what happens to leadership. And this is talking about the United States. So we're talking about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, your Marcus Garveys. Whenever someone rises up, what happens? We've seen it time and time again. But this is real talks. We're talking about the United Kingdom. So where are our leaders? And what are they doing? And I wrote something yesterday, and I'm feeling inspired to share it to the people. Now, if you would permit me, let me go right on ahead. Okay, so it goes. The Matrix is real. The news just conceals. The truth when revealed first stings, then you're healed. Unplug your TV. Destroy your CV. Reload this CD and no truth sets you free. Schools fill you with lies. You think you are wise. Renounce all your ties. Keep your eyes on the prize. Community leaders. Who are the gatekeepers? Disguised as grim reapers, ensnare all truth seekers. Insensitive teachers. Lambasting our creatures. They're draped in wife beaters and quick to draw heaters. The bank makes their seizures. The pills give you seizures. The righteous like cheaters, crucified just like Peter.
But I guess that just speaks for itself. That speaks for itself right there. You know, I got love for my brothers, but we can never go nowhere unless we share with each other. And this goes back to the things that I've been saying for a long time about division and individualistic mentality.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We are people of consumers. Do you know what I mean? And until we start thinking about how can I help my brother? How can I help the person next to me?
Yeah.
How can we make this journey of success together? This idea of, oh, let me quickly make it and I'll come back. That needs to go away.
Yeah.
Why do you need to make it? If your mentality and your mindset is already dead, that is all you need to pass on to the next generation.
Yeah.
Withholding knowledge is one of the most selfish things we can do as adults. You know? And so yeah, go on. What's that next bit for you?
Something stands out to me. This is the first time I've actually looked at this line like this. It says, and that's how it's supposed to be. How can the devil take a brother if he's close to me? Now that verse just kind of came alive in my head. And the way I see that is, the devil taking a brother is how the person next to you treats you and sees you. So if the devil takes that brother, he now sees you as the enemy, as the target. But if that brother is close to you, if he knows, if he sees you as a brother, the devil can't come in with his drugs, with the hatred, because he's close to you. But if he's not close to you, the devil can take him.
Learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers. Do we need to break that down? Like, learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers. Let the word speak for himself. This is Pac. Yeah?
Yeah.
And we all know what the chorus is. Next bit. I'd love to go back to when we played as kids.
Yeah, man. Like how beautiful was childhood, man? We was out, we was active, 4 goals in a cage, Pro Evolution in the crib, in this very room, 10 people. I don't know how we did it. Tetris, we was here. Tournaments. Now everything is online.
Proper socialization.
Proper social life. Go outside and meet one another.
Talk to each other.
Talk to each other. Now we've got this fantastic technology, but we've been consumed by it. It's a double-edged sword. How do we use technology? We're more connected than ever, but at the same time, we're more distant than ever. So, and I was speaking to some young ones today, and they were talking this, they were telling me the same things. I've got 10, 12 years on them, and they're telling me the same things. Can we go back to how it was when we played as kids? When we played as kids, ain't no one was talking about, there was no real division. We were kids, we were having fun. No one cared about the postcode. We were just playing playing football. As we get older and we learn more things, we get separated. But that's just the way it is. Or is it? During the conversation.
I see no changes. All I see is racist faces. Misplaced hates makes disgrace for racists. We under. So for me, I'm driving my car last week, and then there's a black. It's ironic actually. There's a black cab behind me.
Symbolism, yeah.
There's a black cab behind me, and so I don't know if he was annoyed at the way I was driving, but nothing warrants the next thing that happened. So I pull up to the next traffic lights, and then he drives to the side of me.
Yeah.
And then he's making all these gestures. So I roll down the window, and I just wanted to hear what he's saying. He rolls down his window, and then he's like, "You effing this, you effing that. See you next Tuesday." Rare. I'm like, why so much hate?
Yeah.
And then the next part, I've had racism before, but I've never had the monkey chance. So he's like, ooh, 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 ooh. And all I could do was just smile at him. And I was just giving him a blessing. The light is still red, and I'm like, listen, there's already too much hate in this world.
Yeah.
Like, God bless you. Do you know what I mean? You need a lot more love in your heart, because I don't know you from anywhere, but I wish you well.
Yeah.
And just rolled up my window and I just smiled at him like, listen, have a blessed day, mate.
That's how you deal with hate. Love consumes it. Consumes it, man. That's powerful. That's a powerful testimony, man. You can legislate the change, but you can't legislate and change someone's heart. And when people are angry, you find out what is in their heart. You can't hide the truth. Take the evil out of the people, they'll be acting right. Because both black and white is smoking crack tonight.
Talk to them, actually.
Right. So this is the thing we're talking about, right? Because to a point, it's even deeper than race, than this black and white thing. Because when I'm seeing homeless folk on the street, when I'm seeing people addicted to drugs, it doesn't discriminate. I think the top 5 nationalities of those that were on the streets was, if I recall, Romania, Poland, I think then we had Africa, then we had Asia, then we had Lithuania. Yeah? Homelessness don't discriminate. Or does it? That's the question I'm asking. Right? So drugs can consume anybody. Obesity, illness, hatred can consume anybody.
So we're talking about a class struggle right now.
Class struggle. The haves and the have-nots.
Social inequality, isn't it?
Social inequality. And then what happens when you have the social inequality mixed with the racism? Then it creates a cataclysm and it just explodes. But this is bigger than race, folks. Because both black and white are smoking crack tonight. Drugs don't discriminate. Hate don't discriminate. It can consume anyone's heart.
Although it seems heaven sent, we ain't ready to see a black president. What can we say about that? Obama's coming towards the end of his term.
8 years.
And I guess it's not something Tupac never thought would happen in his lifetime, and it didn't. But it happened. And then now we have to look at, people will analyze and say, what has he done for the black community in America?
Yeah.
And then I'm under the impression that maybe he could have said more things. Like, how far can the criticism go of Mr. Obama himself?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, his hands were tied on a lot of things. You know? And so it's almost as when there's a shooting, for instance, they find the highest black police officer to come and do the press conference when white officers have killed an out-and-out black man.
Get Al Sharpton in, get Jesse Jackson in.
You know, so it's pretty much just like, okay, cool, you've got a black man at the top of the chain, so you've got something, we've given you something, but really and truly, you've got nothing.
Now let's talk disproportionality, right? The penitentiary is packed and is filled with blacks. Private prison is a big thing, it's big business. They call it the prison industrial complex. The pipeline that goes from school into the prisons. So we've got situations where prisons are saying, we need these prisons filled. We need these prisons filled.
Do you hear about the court case with the judge who's now been sentenced for 28 years or something like that because he was literally fast-tracking young black men and just giving them stupid sentences because he had shares or he had something aligned with the prisons that he was sending them to.
Yeah. Slavery didn't end, it just evolved. It got legitimized. Research the 13th Amendment. Slavery is banned, abolished, unless you are in prison. So prison is the new slavery. It's right there in the law. And the penitentiary is filled with blacks. However, in the UK, the prison population is even more disproportionate than the US. Yeah. Are you hearing that?
Say that again. Say that again.
In the United Kingdom, the prison population is even more disproportionate than the United States. Private prisons. It's a thing. Research it. Join the conversation. How did Obama do? Are you happy with what he's done for the black community, for the United States in general? Please get involved in the conversation.
But they're staying in a dope game. Tell me now what's a mother to do. Being real don't appeal to the brother in you. You gotta operate the easy way. I made a G today, but you made it in a sleazy way. Selling crack to the kids, I gotta get paid.
Well, hey. It's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is. And again, this is what it's all about. When the drugs are pumped in and it's literally the community poisoning each other. Literally the community poisoning each other for monetary gains.
Yeah.
So I can say that I made it at the expense of who?